You're about to listen to the Timey-Wimey Tea Time Podcast, a geekyantics.net and allgames.com production. Find out what everyone's talking about. The Doctor, of course. Doctor Who? Exactly, that Doctor. Join us live at www.twitch.tv/geekyantics. That's GEEKYANTICS. Hang out with us, ask questions, laugh, and have at it. We can't wait to hear what's on your minds and hearts.
Tiny, whiny tea time. Gusta.
Greetings and welcome to Timey-Wimey Tea Time, where friends gather to talk about all things Doctor Who, sci-fi, fantasy, zombies, creativity, and geekdom as a whole. This is episode 23. It's the Walking Dead special. It's going to be quite special. And I'm Yomar Lopez, known throughout the interwebs and sometimes the Whoverse as YogiZilla. Friends IRL call me Yogi. As our old co-host and dear friend Stan has been known to say, I'm a gamer, a dreamer, an author of silliness, a disgruntled techie, a wild-eyed entrepreneur, and a fistful of happy emojicons and sunshine. I ride into the battle upon a glittering My Little Pony, and out of my mouth comes laughing swords of peppermint and ginger. Above all, I hope that we can become friends, as we embark upon a journey through time and space, the human condition, and merriment/bantering. We're also joined by our other good friend here on TWTT, Fatal Blades, aka Oolong, who's part of our Geeky Antics Twitch stream team. He's been making the podcasting rounds, and we've been having lots of fun doing some video games together. How's it going, bud?
Man, it's going good. Yeah, I've been visiting everybody, man. Stopping around, saying hi to folks, and all my fandoms have kind of been catching me this week, so I've been on a huge catch up, and oh man, between gaming and TV, I'm surprised I have time for anything.
Yeah, that right there is exactly why I try not to watch too much TV, because it's like a downward spiral. I have my stable of shows that I have to keep up with, like Doctor Who, The Walking Dead, and we're gonna get more into that. But I just got into iZombie, and I'm really enjoying that. Of course, anything superheroes or comic book based, sci-fi, fantasy, I usually get drawn to. Arrow, The Flash.
Supernatural's been a big one for me this week. I've been re-catching up with it. An anime. I got back into the anime loop. I've been pulling myself out gradually. It's like virtual reality. You can't just pull yourself out right away. You have to gradually step away.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the studios, TV studios, are getting more aggressive. Like, it's another paradigm shift that's going on, because we're seeing big screen, stars coming to the little screen, the TV screen, and
Yep.
It's weird, like seeing Halle Berry in Extant, or Extant, whatever, however you pronounce it. Not Extent, it's Extant, which means something completely different, apparently. It's the state of existing and not being extinct.
Oh, that would be existence.
That's what I thought, but the word is just extant.
Weird.
Extant. It's weird.
Existential.
So think of extent, with an A instead of an E. It's a pretty good show, though. Pretty interesting. It's got a little bit of a vibe of Terminator in there. I don't want to talk too much about it, but it's pretty neat. It's pretty good in it. I even got into like that BBC show that they used to like always advertise during Doctor Who, Orphan Black. That's actually surprisingly good.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be my thing, but the actress in there, she plays multiple roles and she does them all very well. I'm surprised she doesn't slip out of her role ever. I keep waiting for him. Like, wait, she's gonna forget who she's playing right now. The show about doppelgangers. All I'm gonna say. I mean, they revealed that pretty early on, so not a very big spoiler, but it's really cool. A lot of conspiracy theory type stuff and shadow societies. Oh, see, Lord Rectos likes Orphan Black. Yeah, it is really good. I was actually really happy with that. And it's made me decide that as much as I hate Comcast, I might just throw them some money just so I could get Sci-Fi and BBC America added on. Might as well. I'm already making them freaking rich. What's another $10, $20 at this point? Oh, Lord. But, yeah, let's get into what we're going to be talking about. And I apologize in advance for the dumb dog in the background. He's back. We're babysitting him today. Grumble, grumble. Let's talk about the lovely things we're going to discuss today during tea time. And remember, you don't have to have tea. You can have lemonade. You can have, it doesn't have to be, it could be sweet tea, which still counts. Coffee. Some sort of iced beverage. Whatever your beverage of choice is. Sit down and join us. Your BFT, I hate you, but shut up and take my money. It's like, yeah, when you're paying like, $60, $80 more, maybe $100 to $120 more, I mean, it gets ridiculous. It's $10 for every 50 gigs you go over the data allowance. So it actually adds up a lot faster than you think, especially if you're streaming a lot. And we've cut down a lot. But, yeah, good luck telling my family, well, you can't watch Netflix or Amazon Prime or Hulu anymore. And if you do, you have to limit it to like 2 to 3 hours a day. Like, that's not happening. Anyway, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're going to talk about. The first half, we're going to do a little, before we go deeper, segment where we just talk about, stuff on the network, things that are on our roadmap, our star map for the show and the Geeky Ants Network. And maybe some stuff going on over on the UBN side. We have some updates over there. Then we'll do our Who News segment, our Whovian news. It's not just Whovian news, it's all geeky stuff. We got quite a bit of stuff to talk about with regards to video games. Then, of course, this is The Walking Dead special. We'll have the TWD Season 5 wrap-up. And then we'll go into the second half and continue with the Fear the Walking Dead companion series discussion. We'll have a brief preview for the AM Audio Media interview and the things we're going to be doing with them. We actually have some actual snippets from their interview because their team has replied back with their answers, and that's going to go up on our website, geekyantics.net. Then we'll have our Gaming Verse little chat, little segment, talk about video games, to avoid going too deep into the non-gaming content.
Yeah, must have gaming content.
Exactly. And then we'll do our outro and shoutouts, and that should cover everything.
Yeah.
So before we go deeper, we want to thank our sponsors. I'm going to do more of this and try to make it more organic. But for now, if you want to support our site, support our sponsors. And if you like our podcast, you like our streams, you like our articles, or the event coverage we do and plan to do, you like all that stuff, our YouTube videos, that's a thing. Just go to geekyantics.net/sponsors. And you could check out all the people that help us out. And, they do things like hire us for consulting services or, they get ad space with us or sponsor our shows. They do all kinds of stuff. They make giveaways happen. So it's a win-win-win situation. It helps us out. It helps us bring more value to you guys, our listeners, our friends, and it keeps our sponsors happy. So everybody wins. And don't forget, folks, we are usually live on allgames.com and twitch.tv/geekyantics every Saturday at noon Eastern, 5 p.m. in London, and 4 p.m. in Madrid. And if you missed the live show, you can tune in on YouTube on Saturday evenings. Guys, I'm usually pretty good about getting the episodes up same day. So just check out youtube.com/geekyantics. Or you can search Twitter, or actually just search anything, and you can find the hashtag TWTT for our links to the latest YouTube episode, or maybe some discussions we're having about our favorite shows or movies, and what kind of fun stuff that's relevant to our audience here on Time Whammy Tea Time. And a word of warning, as far as our other shows on the Geeky Antics Network, on All Games, maybe on UBN, United Broadcasting Network, a lot of them may not be age appropriate, or dare I say, your cup of tea. So go into it with an open mind. That we keep this show very clean, but I can't promise that for anything else. We get a little wild.
Yeah, it happens. It does. You mentioned the YouTube, and I'm gonna say it again. I say it about every week. We really look forward to you guys leaving us some YouTube comments or various other things. YouTube comments. If you're fortunate and able to be live with us, we love reading what you guys have to say inside of the chats. We'd also like to hear, voicemails. Any way you want to send us any kind of feedback, information, maybe even just an opinion, we'd love to hear it. If you want to leave the YouTube comments, we're cool with that. You know where to find us on YouTube. But if you want to leave us a voicemail in your own voice, well, we have a phone number for that too. In the U.S., it's 206-415-4987. If you're calling from outside the U.S., 011-206-415-4987. Or you can always email a short MP3 to TWTT@geekyantics.net. We ideally hope that it's about a minute. It can be shorter, it could be longer, but we ask at about 5 minutes top end.
That's about right.
Yeah. It seems good, and we're really open for anything. If you guys want to tell us about, your main Whovian experiences, if you've got anything creative, a haiku, if you want to share a haiku, we're cool with haikus. We're cool with, maybe small ideas, big ideas, medium-sized ideas.
Haikus are great. I had a weird dream where I had a debate with someone about the pentameter and syllable breakdown of a haiku. It was weird. Like, I was having a debate, like, well, iambic pentameter is obviously the better way to go, and then I'm like, I believe in the 353 purist haiku, and then someone like, no, 772 is the proper way to do haiku. I'm like, what? I don't know, and I don't even know how I still remember that dream so specifically, because this was like earlier in the week. I don't know. I've been in so much pain, like I guess my body's like overstimulated or something. So even when I'm sleeping, my brain's like going in overdrive. It's crazy. Being old, man, I get an old man back. I'm like, stop it! I can tell when the weather's changing, so that's kind of useful.
Yeah. I'm happy summer's on the way, but I just got to get through all the rain and semi-dreariness that happens during the spring.
See, I like the rainy days. I just don't like driving in it as much. But
yeah,
this is like the perfect weather, and here in Georgia, we only get like maybe 1 or 2 months of like perfect weather every year. Well, like 3 months maybe. But the 2 months during the spring are probably like the best. And then like 1 month in the fall. Yeah, it's not about right. Actually, no, it's more like 1 month in the spring of like perfect weather, and then like 2 months in the fall. Because like in the spring, it's just the summer just bleeds over. Like it doesn't even wait. Like, yep, here's the humidity. Enjoy.
And it's muggy.
Yep. Oh, and Lord Rakdos brought up a good point about like, and that's actually something I wanted to discuss. This show is not just about Doctor Who, if you haven't figured it out yet. I think more and more it's evolved into a vehicle to highlight and nurture the interconnect, the intersect between the creative community and the fan community. And a lot of us are creatives and fans, and that's an interesting dynamic too. So Lord Rakdos was saying he would love to contribute to our creative page, our storytelling page. If you go to geekyanswers.net/storytelling, we have stuff there. So there's been some stuff that has been shared on the forums, and we're going to repurpose that for that area. But if you have anything you want to, contribute to that, you can also send it to that same email that Oolong shared, TWTT at geekyantswers.net. Some flash fiction, haikus, whatever you want to do. Fan fiction, that works too. But preferably short form content, so that it'll be easier to edit and get it up as soon as possible. Because we have plenty of long form content. I'm bad about being concise, and I apologize for that. But that's my approach, Lord Doctor says he loves storms, but his favorite part is when they stop and everything seems fresh. Absolutely. And it doesn't even last too long here, but like right after a heavy rainfall, it's like that crispness in the air. You can smell the grass, the dew, especially in the morning, like that smell of fresh dew. And yeah, someone should bottle that. They try with like the air fresheners, but it's not quite the same. Yeah, no novellas. Novellas could be for a future platform. A different like if we do a novella, maybe we could do it, repurpose that into like a radio drama. Or who knows, a screenplay. There's so many things we could accomplish together. But anywho, on to the news, the Whovian news. Who knew? Actually, we actually don't have that much Doctor Who stuff here today, so let's just call it Who Knew, the general news. So as I mentioned before, Big Finish has confirmed a 4-set unit execution series to be released one set at a time, starting November 2015. If you don't know, Big Finish does Doctor Who related radio dramas, and this is pretty interesting. It'll be a more modern story, so I think they're gonna be starting with the 9th Doctor. So it's kind of neat that they're finally catching up with the new series. Because I mean, if you think about it, this what is it now? Exactly 34 seasons of Doctor Who, if you don't count the expanded universe stuff, just television.
Yeah.
And wow, kind of overwhelming if you think about it like that. And 8 of those are from the new series. And we're about to start series 9 in the fall. Oh man.
Yeah.
Goodbye free time. GG. But yeah. So I also find this I find this very encouraging, because it seems like BBC is pretty liberal with sharing the Doctor Who love and not freaking out about copyright crap and licensing and all that stuff. So pretty cool. They seem to have the blessing from BBC. So gamers, be sure to check out the Humble Bundle. Actually 2 Humble Bundles this week you got to check out, and EA Origins on the house deals. Humble Bundle has the Indie Bundle 14 and the R Bundle. It sounds like a pirate. It's supposed to be more like a scream, like ah.
It's what I like to call the Rage Quit bundle.
Pretty much, that's exactly what it is. and both of these bundles that they have this week on humblebundle.com, Humble Bundle, Bumblebee Tuna.
Bumblebee Tuna? Bumblebee Tuna.
Yeah, that's a nice word. I like the way it rolls off your tongue, like Bumblebee Tuna. But both of these bundles, they seem to be geared. I feel like they're perfect for people that like streaming, or want a rewarding challenge, or maybe just like tons of replay value, or all of the above. So I don't know. I might have to just pony up some money and get these, because they're too good to pass up.
They really are. I was super excited about the Rage Quit bundle, as I call it, because $8 or more you get Wings of V, which is such a difficult game but so fun.
Yeah, and I enjoyed watching a Man vs. Game play that.
Mm-hmm. And I mean the indie bundle just has a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff. Pixel Piracy, Outlast, Shadow Warrior Special Edition, so many good things.
La Mulana's in there, dude.
Oh, dude, that one's good too.
That's like Indiana Jones meets Spelunky.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, Spelunky / Spelunker is pretty much like an Indiana Jones type thing anyway. So yeah, there's another one that I was really happy to see in there, but La Mulana, that alone, oh, so good. Especially if you like the retro style kind of games. On EA's side of EA's neck of the woods, and I know a lot of people don't like EA because they're a mega corporation that does some pretty shady stuff, but their on the house program is a sweet deal. I mean, you sign up for it, you download the Origins client. Yeah, they do data mining, whatever. It's kind of intrusive, but you get free games out of it. And right now, it's Syndicate. Now, these games are not weekly or monthly. You never know how long it's going to be available free. It may not be available by the time you listen to this. But last I checked, it was free. And Syndicate is a really cool game because it goes back to, that game was released in '93, I believe. And it kind of reminded me of like a tactics game done in real time. It's the best way I can describe it. It's got action, RPG kind of mechanics in there. It's really neat if you like that kind of stuff. I'm a huge fan. Hopefully I'll be streaming that for Retro Friday next week. I didn't get to do it this past Friday. But yeah, who doesn't make data mine, right? And Lord Raptor says, does the Rage Quit bundle, does it have Dark Souls? No. It's more like small studio stuff.
But on the bright side, since we're already talking about Humble bundles, the book bundle this week is the Humble Sci-Fi book bundle. I figure on a show that incorporates all the love of the Doctor Who, it's definitely something you guys might want to check out. It's got some really good stuff.
Oh, man.
If you guys haven't seen it, it's got some really good stuff.
That's also... I try to ignore the book bundle because I'm like, I'm going to just have this massive collection of books that I probably won't read anytime soon. But that's kind of the idea. It's like, for when you finally have that sudden, spike of free time, which for us grown folk isn't very often, then it's like, ooh, I got a bunch of books I could read,
Mm-hmm.
You have options. But on a sadder note, we want to wish a fond farewell to our friend Eric from the Walker Stalkers podcast. He's moving on from the show, but he says he will still be visiting Atlanta for the flagship location of the Walker Stalker Con, and he'll be popping in on the Walker Stalkers podcast from time to time. And I really like what they're doing over there because even though it's usually them hosting the show, they don't really do guest host that much. As much, and they've done a lot of like high-profile interviews, but even in spite of that, they still keep it very grassroots, very accessible, and they have a strong focus on the community. And like when they do the instant reactions to the episodes, and people call in right after they finish watching the latest episode of The Walking Dead, and they just discuss it. I think that's really cool, and I can't think of any other podcast that does that. That fresh reaction right after it happens is really cool.
Yeah, that like first initial shock response,
Yep.
Now, a little bit more information here. You can now snag a new Doctor for free with a limited time code on Doctor Who Legacy. If you missed out on the free gift on Who Legacy, you may still be able to snag the multicolored adipose. And it looks like the codes are available on the official Doctor Who Legacy Facebook fan page. Yes. And Doctor Who Legacy codes fan page.
Yep. No, I was adding that for next week. I'm changing the notes.
As they're moving while I'm reading, it's so confusing.
I know, real time, yo.
Man, the internet has changed. Now, some of these do seem to expire, so make sure you check in about 2-3 times a week, which is, about average when you're checking on things with rotating codes, which reminds me, actually, while we're talking about codes. Well, no, I'll save it for later. I'll save that little tidbit for later.
I got you covered.
I'll save it for later. All right, so now I want to talk about something very important. Lost Girl. That's right. It's happening. We're getting closer to the second half of season 5, final season of Lost Girl. Comes out April 17th. That's the premiere for the last half, basically, of the final season. I'm sad, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy. It's a little bit of time I'll have back once it's closed, according to Sci-Fi. Now, before that, The Flash is going to be continuing after a very brief break on the 14th. So much for that extra free time. And there's tons of TV coming up to look forward to. The new Walking Dead series is coming this summer. That's gonna be huge. That's the one in LA, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk more about that on the show too.
Yeah, that's gonna be phenomenal. Wow, I'm trying to think. There's so much coming up. I know in November we're gonna see the end of White Collar, which really doesn't have much to do with anything, but it's one of my fandoms, so I thought I'd mention it.
Oh no, I love White Collar. I have to catch back up with it.
Yeah, it's the final. They were given 6 episodes to wrap it up, and those happen in November.
Yeah, it's a half season deal, right?
Pretty much.
Was the last episode the Diamond Exchange?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm all caught up.
Yeah, you're still caught up, but there's 6 more episodes we're gonna see in November to kind of close the entire show because also be off the schedule after that.
I like
Now-
how what's the main actor there? He plays the main character. I forget what his name is, but I like
Caffrey?
yeah, he plays Neil Caffrey, but I think his name is Mark Boomer. But it's interesting how he's like become such an integral part of the show. Like he's even directing, producing episodes and all that. Like I think he's one of the executive producers now. So and he's one of the people that lobbied to keep the show going longer.
Yeah. It was a good show, though. I mean, and it's good. I think when you see people really start getting involved in it like that, when they really believe enough in what they're doing to keep it going, like that's when you're going to get good quality. It's why I'm looking forward to the last 6 episodes.
Yeah, yeah. When the actors see it as more than just a job, they really have a passion about the project. It's really cool. But another neat thing, what I like about White Collar is it reminds me of Burn Notice in many ways, and I love Burn Notice. But
My gosh, so good.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't have Bruce Campbell in it, but it's still good, and it's less. It still has that sense of espionage, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the white collar version of it, less about violence and action, and more about like doing the perfect heist and trying to get away with it.
Yeah, and I kind of hope they wrap that together like they did with Burn Notice because that wrapped really well. Now, next thing to talk about. Said I've been doing a lot of gaming this week, and my main game has been Heroes of the Storm. I've been playing so much Heroes of the Storm. So good. We just got a huge update for it. It was the update they had announced back at PAX, and we'd heard about the new level, which we got, the new hero, Sylvanas, which we finally got, and she is so broken. She's so overpowered right now. As a ranged specialist, she gets to stun minions. Like if she's attacking a minion, it is stunned. If she attacks a tower, it is stunned. So it won't return fire.
Wow.
And I think at level 1, you can take basically the siege talent, which when she hits it, not only will it be stunned, it will start taking away ammo as well as health, as well as stunning it. So really, she can siege entire lanes herself. She's phenomenal.
Nazebo and Muradin also have that ability that opens up early on, and it's so good.
Yeah. But like she's got that when she can stun them though, she can just she'll take one shot and then stand there, stun the turret while she attacks it with no minions and take away the ammo and just blaze through an entire row. It's amazing. We got the new UI, which is so much cleaner. Displays the champions better. We can organize them when we look at them, see what, if we want an assassin type, we can get that by clicking a button. All sorts of things, man. Just so good. I grinded when we first started. For the first week after the update came out, they gave everybody a free boost for 1 week. The boost has run up since then. But during that time, I spent it to get up to being able to do hero leagues and ranked. It was so good. We saw a lot of balance stuff that kind of helped out with overpowered and underpowered champions. So we got more balance, and they did really well with it.
Yeah. I think they got the game just right. I mean, it's in beta, but I think if it's shipped officially, like it really launched, like next week, it'd be ready to go.
Absolutely.
Oh, now hey, Lord Rakdos doesn't have a key to Heroes of the Storm, but he seems to have expressed some interest, so we might have to hook him up after the show.
Oh yeah.
See, and that's one of the perks of tuning in live, folks. You become friends of the network, part of the gang.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we got codes. I don't know about you. I know I've been giving out a few codes already. I gave out a couple on Twitter. I did some kind of flash giveaways in a few of the shows, and I've been everywhere doing all sorts of madness. But yeah, I know we're still giving out beta codes too for the loyal listeners, followers, and people who keep up with us on the social medias, if you will.
Yeah, we're probably not even gonna do giveaways for them. We're just gonna give them to the people that we've identified as our best friends, our biffies.
Our biffs, BFF.
Yep, the biffies, best friends for life, best friends forever, BFF. Yeah, there you go.
What about BFFIF?
BFFIF.
Uh-huh. Best friends forever in fandoms. What up?
Oh, Biff. I like it. See, Biffy is just like my my way of saying BFF as if I'm Rachel Ray, because you know how she makes everything cutesy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a Sammy. It's like, oh, it's a little sandwich. I get it.
I see what she did there.
She's adorable. I don't know, like sometimes you just want to like face palm, but then you wanna like just turn around and hug her, and then you want to eat her tasty treats. I mean, she makes some good stuff. The other day she made like freaking a waffle sandwich. It was like 2 waffles, savory waffles, like seasoning in them, and then like 2 grilled chicken cutlets cut in half. Well, 1 chicken cutlet cut in half so it wouldn't be too thick, grilled, and then like bacon, and like she layered it, and I forgot what else she put in, like some kind of like sauce she made.
See, the internet's had that for a while, though. I'm pretty sure that used to be called a Luther.
Oh my gosh! But the Luther had donuts.
It did, but I mean, you use waffles and you got the light Luther.
Yeah, because the Luther, you just look at that and it's like that's gonna be rich as heck.
Oh, dude, that was the itis in packaging. That's exactly what it was.
Did they have like 2 burger patties and then also a hot dog in there? It's a few hot dogs, like something crazy. Like, oh my goodness.
Yep, and some like the chicken fried steak patties, and oh, it's so good though.
Ooh, the chicken fried patty melts are good. Anyway, let's get to the Walking Dead talk.
Yeah.
before we turn it to the food cast again, you know. So, Walking Dead season 5, it's done. We just got since the last time we've spoken to you fine folks listening or viewing live or watching us on YouTube, we watched episode 15 of season 5 titled Try, and episode 16, the season finale, which is 90 minutes, an hour and a half long. And that one was called Conquer. And I don't know, I think the dogs are killing each other, some stuff is falling. I don't know if that came through on the microphone, but I got scared. But so BFT's gonna go lurker because he hasn't caught up. But I don't know. There's so much to start off with. One of the first things that sticks out for me is the fact that Rick, he did his job as constable, and he wanted to kind of, be more diplomatic in his solutions to things. So he goes to Mayor Deanna and lets her know what's going on, and he's like, hey, Pete's beating up Jesse, and she's like, oh, I know. I mean, she didn't say it quite so blasé, but it kind of felt that way. It's like I was aware of it, but I was kind of just hoping it would fix itself. And this is like one of many signs, but one of the biggest signs that we see that not all is well in this suburban paradise. You want to talk about this first, or you got something else you think that is more important?
No, I mean that was definitely like her cavalier attitude towards it was just welcome to the new world, I guess, It was horrible.
Yeah, and she doesn't see the bigger underlying issues where, he might finally snap. And Rick brought that up to her, like, oh, so when has it gone too far? When she's finally dead, then it's too late to do something about it.
But I mean, of course, she did jump behind the defense line of, well, he's a doctor. We got to have this doctor, and it's like,
and we knew that was gonna happen, right? We called that.
Yeah, but it's that whole, okay, you have a doctor, which is great because then he can, fix whoever he busts up. But is this really productive?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the thing, and I don't know. I mean, if finally they did not waste any time finally having that moment where things blow up, because Rick goes back to Jesse and talks to her about what's going on, confronts her about the situation, and she's kind of like, yeah, don't get involved because it's gonna get messy. And also when Rick was talking with the mayor about what's going on, she's like, well, we could always exile them, worst case scenario, but we do not kill. But here's the problem: you exile people, you're gonna have to constantly watch your backs because they're rarely gonna leave on good terms and of their own accords. Who's gonna want to leave that great little colony they've created, right? So, what do you think?
I mean, here's something that bothers me. They're like, we're gonna exile people, right? But we've seen it numerous times. People know how to just climb over the wall.
Yeah.
They just, oh, let me just climb over this wall right here. So what? You're going to exile me. And then when everyone goes to sleep, I'm going to climb over the wall and sleep on the inside. And if you find me and wake me up and you're like, hey, we exiled you, what are you going to do? Just kick me back out of the gate again. See you tomorrow.
And that's not even the worst part of it. Just common sense. This is not even knowing about the comics. Common sense that if a colony exists already, there's got to be other colonies, other camps. And if someone that gets exiled bumps into these other people, it's to stop them from saying, hey, they got supplies we can steal. Or, oh, you know what, let's just take over the whole colony and make it ours. You have all these loose ends.
What if the governor would have run across Alexandria?
Oh, my God.
It would have been a war. It would have been ugly and bloody and messy, but no, it's they know those kind of they've seen it. So for them to just be like, well, we don't kill anybody, we just tell them bad, get out. It doesn't work like that.
Now that we're talking about the governor, did you know that Dave Morrissey was supposed to be he was a candidate to be one of the doctors?
Really?
Yeah, he was supposed to be the next doctor after David Tennant, but Matt Smith won. Yeah, that would have been kind of neat.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad Matt Smith won that though.
Yeah, I was apprehensive about him, but he definitely earned his place.
I think it worked really well for both of them because Matt Smith, I couldn't see the governor as the doctor, and then if they did, who would be the governor then? I don't think they would have been able to really find someone who fits that role quite as good as he did.
Yeah, if you think about it, timing-wise, it would have been around the same time they were shooting season 3.
Yeah. And
then that little bit of season 4 that he was still in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of season 4, he was in there. So yeah. And of course, season 2 was The Walking Dead was the infamous farm season.
Yeah.
Man, everything now that I going back to it, everything feels like such a blur. Like they had the prison, and that felt like it lasted long, but it really didn't. I mean, it lasted long, as far as the show's actual timeline, but as far as how many episodes they were in the prison, it wasn't that long.
Yeah, but for us as viewers, I think that was the first time we'd really seen a serious sit-down, established kind of society.
Yeah.
For the group. And so for us, it felt like, oh my gosh, this is a totally new concept. It's huge.
They were there at least 6 months as far as the characters. They were there 6 months. Mm-hmm. And because they got really comfortable. I mean, they were growing crops and everything.
Yeah.
I like that whole little stint in the prison. But so back to current day in the Walking Dead verse. So yeah, Pete, catches Rick and his wife talking, and he's automatically going to macho mode. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing here? Well, what's going on here?" Doesn't even give Rick a chance to explain what's going on. He automatically assumes the worst. Like, Rick wasn't even standing close to her. He wasn't getting physical with her, like, holding her hand or rubbing her shoulder. No, nothing that should make him, like, just freak out right off the bat. He could just be talking to her about the owl that was destroyed or something else that happened in the neighborhood, making her aware of what's going on, He could just be making his rounds as a constable. But, Pete right away just lost it, and it turns to this big street brawl, and things get destroyed.
Dude, the window scene, it was so pro.
Dude, they freaking did like the whole... It was like the trope from like a spaghetti western getting thrown out the saloon window or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's priceless. Like, I like when I do stuff like that. It's kind of like tongue-in-cheek. It's like, I see. But, yeah, that... and Rick tried to avoid the situation. He knew that not addressing it head on would be bad. He'd have to be more preemptive about it. And yeah, we'll find out what becomes of that. But it's not good.
Yeah.
But what was the mayor's response to everything?
Oh, dude, the mayor just... Needless to say, she was not happy.
Her husband was there, and it kind of looked like they were angry parents sitting there like, are you guys proud of yourself? Are you boys proud of yourself?
Yeah. It's that whole, this is why we can't have nice things, Mr. Grimes. This is why we can't have nice things.
No, and then I like how she kind of does she goes straight for the gut shot. I mean, I admire her authenticity and her transparency, but I feel like she just did this just to piss off or get a rise out of Rick, or to see how he would react. Like, she's testing him to see if he snap. And because she goes, well, while we're all being honest here, Father Gabriel told me that you guys are trying to do blah blah blah, and you're meanie heads, and you're trying to take over and be mean to everybody, and I don't like that. That's a very poopy head thing to do.
Yeah. You guys seem a little shifty. Are you shifty?
Are you shifty?
Like she was baiting it. She's like, yo, so
there's some chocolate bars missing. What's going on with that?
This guy, he told me that you guys might be trying to do something a little unscrupulous. Do you know what unscrupulous means, Mr. Grimes?
Oh my god, that would have been great.
Judge Judy about it.
That would have been bad if she really got like that kind of sentence. Like, there's some skullduggery going on. You know what skullduggery means, guys? Are you aware of that? Are you literate enough for that? Oh my gosh, that would have been great.
Dude, that's how it came across to me. I was like, wow.
Yeah, she was.
Because she yelled at them like some kids. You know?
Yep. She definitely took on that mother hen role.
Them boys are fighting in the front yard again. Old Petey went through the window.
Yeah, she's kind of scary.
She has her moments, but I don't know, like, she's scary in a different way. She's not like mwahaha maniacal scary. She's that very deep thinker scary. It's like, she may not get you today, but 16 weeks from now, after you forgot about it, you're going to step out of your door and she all of a sudden she's going to be waiting there and you're going to catch a wedgie. Like, she's plotting. She is a schemer, like, she's waiting for it. You prank her on April 1st and she gets you back on August 18th. Like, that's her.
Oh my lord, yeah, she's definitely the kind of person that has a master plan, like the Master from Doctor Who. Oh wow, this just in: Angry Joe is pissed apparently because Nintendo flagged another one of his videos, so he decided to no longer make videos for Nintendo. Good man, good on you. No one is safe. See,
absolutely, because Nintendo is on a very large rampage of you know,
They're not up with current time. Let's just say that. We'll table this. If you're interested in this discussion, we've discussed it on Horseplay Live episode 68, and we'll probably continue further on episode 69. But yeah, they need to catch up with current day and appreciate new media. But anyway, back to The Walking Dead. We got a lot of stuff to cover, and that Nintendo will make us rant. I know.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I know, brother. Trust me. But there's a lot of great zombie scenes here. You know, the walkers are not the centerpiece of The Walking Dead. It's a human drama, and that's great. But I like that when they do incorporate the walkers or the shamblers or whatever they're calling them these days, they're actually making it count, right? It doesn't feel like there's just they're moving away from this pure shock value. I'm glad that they're not just killing people just for shock value anymore, because there was all this hype about how they were gonna kill off, big characters, main characters, and that you should get your tissues out and all this stuff, but it ain't quite happen. I'm glad that worked out, because they need to find a draw within the other twists, and not just cheap little ploys. But there were a lot of great zombie scenes. I mean, we saw the zombie trailer trap that the wolves set up right in their base. That was kind of neat.
That one was actually. You know what I liked more about that one?
What?
When they showed how they get them back, how they reset the trap.
That was neat. Yes,
I thought that was pretty ingenious.
That was wasn't that in the post-credits scene? No. That was towards the end.
I was gonna say, I think it was before the end of it, because they're standing outside the gate, and just it was awesome how they did it though. Like, I don't want to ruin. It's definitely a little bit of.
They got a lot of good music. A lot of good music this season. Some 9 Inch Nails. They had I forget who sings The Wanderer. Gosh, and some like dubstep EDM type stuff. It was pretty neat. But yeah, then in that same scene, pretty much it was Daryl fending for himself with a chain, beheading multiple walkers at once. That was pretty crazy. It was something straight out of a video game. Which, by the way, with so much great moments to work with, so much great content, so many great concepts to work with from The Walking Dead, how is it they still haven't made a good video game? And I don't want to talk about the Telltale games.
I was going to say, the Telltale games were good, let's be fair.
They're interactive stories, though.
They're still good.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, all right. Like, they're
now,
fun.
Granted, the Daryl game that they did was terrible.
Yeah. The Deadly Instincts or Survival Instincts?
Survival Instincts, I think. But here's my question, though. What are they going to... The video game market is so saturated in zombies right now.
Yeah.
Like, I can't sneeze with Steam up without hitting 4 zombie games.
Well, it's like that. It's like that in TV and even in movies. Like, zombies are still kind of big. Like, people are really trying to jump in there before the trend dies down.
Like, if I was The Walking Dead and I was going to make a game, I would mess with people. I'd be like, here comes the new Walking Dead game. You don't fight walkers. No, you're the mayor of Alexandria, and you have some decisions to make. That's what I would...
they could have, like, a SimCity little mini game in there, too, like, building stuff.
Kinda, yeah. Like, you're the mayor of Alexandria. How
Resource
do you
management.
handle the walker flood coming your way? Oh, there's enemies at the gate.
There are some chocolate bars missing.
Yeah.
Question all the members of Alexandria to see and figure out who it was. It's like then it becomes a whodunit. Oh man.
Someone went flying through a window.
Who done it? Who's at fault? Rick or Pete? There's no right or wrong answer, but the right answer is Pete. But yeah,
just say it.
I think there's still a lot of good story to be told in the zombie space. And it's just a shame that you have this great license that you could use, and then you just get lazy with it. Like, that game was uninspired. And then not to take anything away from the Telltale games, but you can't really, there's not really a fail state in those games. They're linear, and you're you really have to be really bad to lose them. It's more about the social experience and the narrative. And the gameplay mechanics are okay, but it's not really like deep on the gameplay. It's, you know, QTE events and, you know, action on rails, which is fine, but it's more leaning towards movie than a video game. So, you know, it's even less of a game than a point and click adventure, I would say. That's saying something.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll luck out and there'll be like a Poker Night 3 though, where you can like get the character from Walking Dead to play. That'd be cool. I love Telltale.
Yeah, I love what they're doing. I mean, it's cool, and those are fun games to watch. I like watching them. I think they lend themselves really well to streaming, and everybody compares like their decisions in the chat. Like, even though they don't really impact anything, it's kind of like, well, I decided to go this route. You know, I just did this instead of that. You know, the stories branch out a little differently, but everybody ends up in the same place because they have to finish the story a certain way, right?
Yeah.
So it's a neat concept. I'm wondering if they could be more bold and make it so that the endpoints branch out as well. So when you're going into new seasons, then you have that new episodes. And then you actually have like different changes in the beginning of each of those installments. That'd be kind of cool.
See, I think to me, if I was going to do kind of a Walking Dead game, it would really turn out kind of like H1Z1 probably. Kind of that massive multiplayer, you know, there's walkers around, but there's also the people element you have to concern yourself with. You know, building environments to try and keep you and your people good and things like that. But even then, I don't know. It's I don't know. I could go on for days. Like we got to go back to the main conversation, or I'll be on how The Walking Dead could be gamed for a while.
Yeah. But some more zombie scenes that were great. The zombie doorstop when they were trying to shut the door. Aaron and Daryl went into the car because they had nowhere else to go, and they were surrounded by walkers. And so Daryl's trying to shut the door, and it's like squishing, it's smashing the crap out of this poor walker's head.
Yeah, I think he shut. I think it was Aaron though. I think Aaron did it.
Was it Aaron? I could have sworn.
Yeah, no, because Daryl's in the driver's side. It was Aaron who was like just.
You're right. It was on the right side. Yeah. Now I'm picturing it. You're right. Yep. I'm surprised he's been panicked though. Like some people would panic that situation and kind of freeze, but he just kept trying to close that door, like bang, bang, bang. But the best part, and I think one of the most tense Walker scenes, was when, and we didn't get into this yet, but we might as well say it. Like Father Gabriel does a real douchey thing, and he's kind of like, "Screw you guys," and walks in. The guard said, "Oh, just close the gate behind you," and walks away. You know, great job, guard. Good job doing security. And Father Gabriel leaves the gate open. So, of course, some walkers come in, you know. And this is another sign that Alexandria, the folks there, are too lax, and they need Rick Grimes and his group to kind of tighten things up and get a little tougher. But because of that, Rick ends up in a situation where, here's another thing I got to mention. It goes from day to night really fast in The Walking Dead, apparently. There's no in-between. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It was like bright, sunny day, and then suddenly pitch black out of nowhere. From where Rick realizes that the gate was open, he finally shuts it, and then he's just running around. He's like, oh, wait, there's like guts and blood and entrails. There's probably some walkers here. And then all of a sudden he's running around, and it's night. He's trying to find the walkers, and he runs into one that ends up like somehow pouncing him. Oh, he can't have a weapon in there, so he's like going, you know, hand-to-hand combat with the walker. And then he actually did end up still having a gun on him. I guess he had a hit on him from earlier.
Well,
but,
if you remember, it's what's her name gives it to him?
Carol.
Yeah, Carol gives him the gun.
That's the one he had hidden, and they didn't know. Like, so when they got caught. He said, "This is good. This is a smoke screen. They'll think they'll have us. They have us figured out. But then meanwhile, they don't really know that we have this other thing going on. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
So that was kind of smart. So he kept that hidden the whole time, and because of that situation, like no one's supposed to know that they have these extra weapons in the town. He tries to silence the shot, right? So he digs the gun into the mouth or the under the neck in the soft tissue there, into the walker's head, and it's like squeezing all this junk out of there. It's really gross, and you can hear it squishing, and it's almost like he's trying to squeeze an orange and get juice out of it. And then finally gets it deep in there, and you see the bright light of it popping off, but it's a muffled sound because it's so deep in there. And it was like just brilliant the way they did that. But the tension of like, oh my gosh, if he messes up, if he like loses the struggle, and it finally like snaps at him and bites him, he's done. Wasn't that tense to you?
It was pretty tense, especially considering a lot of the predictions that came out before everything, because like I think that he was one of the main people. I saw predictions where people were like, he's not going to make it to season 6. And then when they had that intense struggle, it almost felt like a tongue-in-cheek nod to the fans who were all theorizing it. They were like, oh, this could be it. No, we're just kidding, better luck guessing next time.
Yeah.
I like how they did it. I thought it was really well done. Like the feelings and the back music that kind of gave you that just, doof, 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 like your heart beating out of your chest. What's gonna happen?
They've had a lot of good music overall this season. It feels like. Did I lose you? Oh, okay. So another thing. So back to Aaron and Daryl, who they're going around trying to track down new recruits for Alexandria, and they find a guy in a red poncho. Initially, I had missed this. I had to go back and watch it, but it was just funny. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's the deal with that guy, and why is he wearing a red poncho? I mean, you might as well just wear hot pink